Our top focus this morning is on the investigation into the Bengaluru riots. The Central Crime Branch is looking into this case, and in its preliminary charge sheet, the probe agency has named former Congress Mayor Sampath Raj as well as Corporator Abdul Rakib Zakir. India Today has accessed this charge sheet, which states that Sampath contacted SDPI to help burn MLA Srinivasa Murthy's house. Sampath and Zakir reportedly held meetings to plan an attack on Murthy, who has now demanded Sampath Raj's suspension. Meanwhile, the NIA has also questioned Congress MLA Rizwan Arshad and Zamir Ahmed Khan in connection with the case, asking them to explain their presence in the area. This is with regards to the violent clashes that broke out on August 11th following an alleged derogatory post by Srinivasa Murthy's relative.
The NIA investigation into the Bengaluru communal riots that took place almost 2 months ago have put the Congress in a corner. The NIA questioned Congress MLAs Zamir Ahmed Khan and Rizwan Arshad on Monday and Tuesday over their presence in the riot-hit area when the violence took place. Meanwhile, infighting has erupted in the Congress after a party leader and former Bengaluru Mayor Sampath Raj was named in the charge sheet by the Bengaluru Crime Branch. Congress MLA Akhanda Srinivas Murthy, whose house was attacked in the riots, has demanded Sampath Raj's suspension.
I'll meet directly to Siddhamaji and DK Shukumarji and our Zamir Ahmed Khan ji. We will discuss them and we immediately we should take action. I am telling you. Your demand is suspension? Yeah, suspension.
The Congress's former ally, the JDS, is also targeting the party, blaming it for the riots, as is the ruling BJP.
The real picture now came out. These Congress people, they are not the protectors of the citizens of this state. They are the main culprits in that raid.
When MLA house is burnt, the victim makes a statement and it is found in corroborative evidences. Now, if they say that it is fabricate, I really feel they have been totally caught doing the act red hand.
The Congress, under attack from all sides, has strongly denied any link to the riots.
The failure of the police, failure of the government, that incident took place.
With immense pressure being mounted as of now, the big question is, will the Congress party in the state continue to support its own leaders who have been named in the charge sheet? Because whatever decision they take, it might affect them in the upcoming by-polls elections. With video journalist Madhuwar, Nolan Pinto for India Today.
There's also a massive political war that's playing out between former allies, the Congress and the JDS, over this case, over the Bengaluru riots, also ahead of the by-elections in the state. Former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy hit out at the Congress, blaming them for the clashes. In fact, Kumaraswamy tore into the Congress, saying that they're the main culprits behind the riots and warned Bengaluru citizens, saying that the Congress party is not safe for them. Karnataka Congress Chief D.K. Shivkumar in turn rubbished these charges, saying that Congress party and its leaders are in no way related to the riots and termed the incident as a failure of police and state government.
It is very clearly evident that such people were involved in this kind of an atrocity against a sitting legislator who comes from a marginal community, and which Congress always boasts that they are saviors of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. So this is unbecoming of a leader, unbecoming from a party who always has double standards.
It is a BJP political conspiracy. It is a failure of the police and the government. BJP wanted to cover their failures, so they are naming our corporators. Congress is no way concerned. My corporators, both of them are no way concerned. It is the plot of the BJP to bring a bad name to the Congress party. We doesn't accept that. We will go it legally. It is a shame on this government. They could not manage, they could not give protection. They are just showing on our Congress people name.
And in news from Tamil Nadu, assembly polls are just a few months away and the chorus for Rajinikanth's political debut is rising. A Hindu Makkal Kachi leader has now claimed that Rajini will make the big announcement in January 2021.
With election fever gripping the state of Tamil Nadu, the chorus for superstar Rajinikanth's entry into politics is rising. And adding to all of the speculation is Hindu Makkal Kachi leader Arjun Sampath, who claims that the superstar will make the much-awaited announcement in January 2021.
இது விஷயத்திலே சூப்பர்ஸ்டார் மிக தெளிவான கருத்துக்களை கூறியிருக்கிறார். 2021 சட்டமன்ற தேர்தல் தான் இலக்கு. அவர் அரசியல் பிரவேசத்தின் போதே அறிவித்து விட்டார். தனித்துத்தான் போட்டி, அதையும் தெளிவுபடுத்தி விட்டார். 234 தொகுதியிலும் ஜனநாயக போர்க்களத்தில் நமது வேட்பாளர்கள் இருப்பார்கள் என்பதையும் தெளிவுபடுத்தி விட்டார்.
Only 10 days back, Rajini's close aide Tamil Aravi Manian, president of the Gandhi Makkaliyakam, in a statement on Gandhi Jayanti, asked the people of Tamil Nadu to gear up for a Rajini revolution. Manian put out a statement saying, and I quote, "Let us support the entry of Rajinikanth into politics on Gandhi Jayanti and Kamarajar's anniversary." But nothing happened on Gandhi Jayanti, and it remains to be seen if Rajini will indeed make the big announcement in January. It's been, remember, 3 years since the superstar announced that he is entering politics. Since then, however, it's been pin-drop silence. In 2017, Rajini, during his fan association meet, had confirmed that he's entering politics.
ஆதாயத்துக்காக நான் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க கிட்ட வந்து சொல்றது, அதுக்காக நான் வந்து ஒவ்வொரு எலெக்ஷன் வரும்போதும் என்னுடைய ஆதரவு யாருக்கும் இல்லை அப்படின்ற சூழ்நிலைக்கு நான் தள்ளப்படுறேன்.
The buzz was strong in March 2020 that Rajini would finally launch his political party, but his press conference was a damp squib. Rajini fans are now itching with anticipation for some news. A series of posters recently were seen across Vellore, Madurai and Coimbatore, urging him to enter politics and contest the upcoming state elections.
The only person who can, with any kind of authority, say whether Rajinikanth is entering politics anymore is Mr. Rajinikanth himself. And over the last, 1 or 2 months, we've not even had a single announcement from the man himself. I think to a large extent, people and even the media is sort of tiring of his constantly saying the same thing and then nothing happening. Anyway, there are only 6 months to go. So if Mr. Rajinikanth is coming to politics, we will know within the next 3 to 4 months.
The two Dravidian parties, AIADMK and DMK, have already started their groundwork for the elections. Kamal Hassan has also kicked off his work for the state polls. So far, Rajini's political blockbuster has been, however, a no-show.
நான் எப்போ வருவேன், எப்படி வருவேன் யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. ஆனா வர வேண்டிய டைம்ல கரெக்ட்டா வருவேன். These are the famous lines of superstar Rajinikanth in the film Muthu, which says, "Nobody knows when I'll come, how I'll come, but when the time is right, I will be there at the right spot." And Rajinikanth seems to be taking these lines very close to his heart. In fact, during all his political announcements also, he has been saying, "When the time is right, I will make my appearance." But with just 6 months around for the state assembly election, the question of when will Rajinikanth enter politics still remains. With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
The Supreme Court is all set to hear the Hathras case today. A day before the hearing, the UP government also submitted its affidavit in the Apex Court, mentioning that it's provided adequate security for the victim's family. On the probe front, the UP government said that it's transferred the case to the CBI and the central agency can submit its report every fortnight. This comes after 2 pleas were filed in the Supreme Court, one seeking a top court judge-monitored probe and also protection for the family who claimed a threat to their lives. Meanwhile, the CBI probe in the Hathras case is underway. The CBI yesterday grilled the victim's father and 2 brothers for 6.5 hours. On Tuesday, the victim's elder brother was quizzed by the CBI for over 4 hours. The central agency is likely to grill the accused's family today. They'll also demand the custody of all accused in the case via going to court. Unfortunately, there's no end to the atrocities against Dalits. Days after the Hathras tragedy came to the fore, instances of brutality against Dalits still continue to remain the focus. Here's a report on such cases that have been reported across the country. This is our Get Real India story this morning.
Hathras shook the conscience of many Indians. But for the Dalit community across the country, such atrocities are nothing new. In another horrific incident, 3 Dalit girls were targeted in Uttar Pradesh's Gonda. Acid was thrown on the 3 sisters while they were sleeping in their house on Monday night. While 2 narrowly escaped with minor injuries, 1 has major burns on her face. The police have nabbed the accused after an encounter in Huzurpur area on Tuesday night.
उसने अवैध असले से पुलिस के ऊपर फायर किया। पुलिस ने भी आत्मरक्षा फायर किया जिसमें उसको फायर आर्म से इंजरी से चोट आई है और इसको इलाज हेतु भेजा गया है।
In Lalitpur, a Dalit man was beaten up and was forced to drink urine.
वो आसकल हम मुझ पे सबने भज्जा कुआ कछु नहीं हमने नहीं पी हमने नहीं पी ले उन्हें साफ पहले लठवारी का नाम है दूसरा का नाम है।
The accused in the case are absconding. 3 police officers have been suspended.
थाना कोतवाली अंतर ग्राम रोहड़ा है, वहाँ पे कुछ दबंग व्यक्तियों के द्वारा कुछ ग्रामीणों के साथ मारपीट की गई। जैसे ही पुलिस को सूचना मिली एफआईआर दर्ज की गई है, उसमें तत्काल अभियुक्त गिरफ्तार किया गया है और बाकी जो एक अन्य है उसकी भी गिरफ्तारी की हमारी टीमें दर्ज कर रही हैं। कठोर कार्रवाई हम लोग करेंगे।
Crimes against Dalits are not limited to one state. The story is the same in Tamil Nadu, which scores high on literacy and health indices. In Madurai, a Dalit shepherd was made to bow at the feet of 7 men from an upper caste community. After the video of the incident went viral, a case was lodged against the 7. Bureau Report, India Today.
And today, multiplexes across India will be reopening under the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Theatres across the country have made preparations for safe return of patrons after being shut since March because of coronavirus. According to the SOPs, thermal screening of viewers at entry points is a must. Patrons will also have to wear masks at all times and maintain social distancing. The Maharashtra government, meanwhile, has also announced the guidelines for the latest phase of unlock. Places of religious worship will continue to remain closed. The state, however, will see the reopening of government and private libraries. Shops will also be allowed to be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Check. Thermal screening check. Sanitizer check. Floors with social distancing marks check. Fumigation drive check. And finally, the staff in PPE kits check. Well, the new normal is hardly simple, but here's some good news. After 7 long months of being shut down due to the coronavirus lockdown, cinema halls are now gearing up to reopen on the 15th of October in most parts of the country, following new guidelines issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. What's important to note here is that the fear of COVID-19 still looms large, especially given the closed and air-conditioned environment of theatres. So only a few states have given the go-ahead for cinema halls and multiplexes to resume operations with 50% capacity. And these states include Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Karnataka, Gujarat, Goa, Uttarakhand, Bihar and West Bengal. Ahead of the opening, briefings related to the new guidelines were given in Delhi by the cinema authorities.
For months, if you've been sitting at home, the unlock guidelines are now opening cinema halls across the country. And what are the COVID protocols that will be followed? We'll show you here. Once you enter a cinema hall, there will be a person who with a sanitizer, he'll ask your name and he will also check if you have an Arogya Setu. And then your thermal screening will be done by a person again posted here. All social distancing norms will be kept in mind. This will be the ticket counter. You can always book an online ticket and you can see markers here of social distancing that have been placed, and this is how people will need to stand.
While in Kolkata, multiplex authorities have been working round the clock to put the appropriate COVID protocols in place, all to ensure that audiences start pouring in during the Durga Puja, which is starting next week.
After being shut down for more than 6 months, cinema halls like these are finally throwing open their gates with a massive number of COVID protocols in place. Finally, I make my way into the theatre. It's really exciting to be back inside the theatre after about a break of 6 months. There have been a lot of changes that have been made in the cinema viewing experience. For starters, this is how the seating arrangement is going to be. So, if you are coming along with your friends, with your family, you have to maintain basic social distancing. So if I come and sit here, unfortunately, I won't be having somebody sitting next to me, my friend, my family. Masks are mandatory. Remember that. You cannot enter a cinema hall without a mask.
Similar preparations were also seen in Lucknow, considering we are so close to Diwali. As far as other states are concerned, while there is no directive yet from the Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Tripura, Meghalaya and Mizoram governments regarding the reopening of cinema halls and multiplexes. The Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Odisha governments, on the other hand, have postponed the decision on the same until the 31st of October.
We have decided is that we will be initially going into all our library contents, like movies like Thappar, Chichore, Mission Mangal. So these are our library contents, because as you know, new Hindi or Bollywood movies are not going to get released in a couple of weeks' time. So we are very hopeful that new movies will also definitely get released, and we will definitely have those being released as it comes into.
So there are no new Hindi film releases on the horizon as of now, as both producers and theatre owners want to gauge the footfall first. With Milan Sharma and Indrajit Kundu, Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Delhi Capitals is back at the top of the IPL table. Shreyas Iyer's men beat Rajasthan by 13 runs. Rajasthan was set a target of 162, but Delhi bowled exceptionally well. Anrich Nongye was the standout performer. The South African bowled a sensational spell of fast bowling and picked up 2 wickets. All the bowlers from Delhi registered themselves in the wicket column. Tushar Deshpande on debut picked up 2 wickets as Delhi registered a 13-run win. And Virat Kohli's Bangalore will take on Kings 11 Punjab in match 31 of the IPL tonight. Bangalore's in red-hot form and have won 5 out of their 7 games. It will be the second consecutive game for the bold army at Sharjah. In the last match, AB de Villiers played an exceptional knock to power RCB to win. Punjab, on the other hand, have struggled so far. KL Rahul's men have managed just 1 win in 7 games. Punjab will look to return to winning ways. The action kick-starts at 7:30 p.m. tonight.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.